Hello, my friends. Truly lovely to receive you and to get to share with you today. Um, I'd like to talk with you about breaking out of boxes because that is definitely where I'm at yet again. And it's something that we're always going to be asked to visit, to review, to make a decision about. And so for clarification, boxes to me represent anywhere in our life that we've allowed ourselves to become small, where we've put ourselves into some kind of a relationship with an identity, a belief about ourselves or others, roles, personas, how we act in the world. Um, an example can be if somebody hurts you, you're not supposed to forgive them, or you need to hurt them back. Or if you've been betrayed, well, everybody's going to betray you. Money is hard to come by and you have to work really hard for it. Like there has to be a cost, and a painful cost or something, or a sacrifice. If somebody has been unfaithful to you, every other partner is going to be unfaithful, or it's just how people are and nobody's to be trusted. You're supposed to stay in a relationship because God says so, and you're married, or you didn't work hard enough. I don't know, a job that just sucks your soul. You're supposed to stay in it. Never leave your city. Don't move somewhere else. It's not safe. Or how will you take care of yourself? Oh my goodness. If you've always had mental, emotional challenges, and you're labeled as somebody who is anxious or depressed or whatever it is, that you will always be that way. If you've got weight issues, you're always going to have weight issues. I mean, there are so many ways, infinite ways that we minimize ourselves, that we make ourselves small, and create these stacking boxes, a box within a box within a box within a box. And it's like those Russian babushka stacking dolls. Those boxes suppress your life force. They confine and restrict your flow of energy, creativity, and they also will prevent you from coming into the flow of life and ascension as a soul in a human body. So if we are to consider ourselves energy, which is what we are, and relate the idea of energy in nature and how nature fluctuates and moves and is diverse and endless in its awesomeness. Like if you think of a sunset or a sunrise, they're never the same. The clouds in the sky are never the same. A winter day is never the same. Sun has different fluctuations and how the heat is going to affect you. It's all ever changing, ever expressing. A tree is a tree. Mind you, we've labeled it as that, so that's another way that we create boxes. But for, just ease sake, a tree is a tree. But there are so many different kinds of trees and different cycles that the tree goes through and experiences. There are trees that require different kinds of nutrients and foundations. And yet we've seen things that our brain cannot even understand, such as how a sprout, a tree can sprout out of concrete in the middle of a city or jut outside of a rock face. Like it's so fantastic. It's unbelievable. You look up at the stars at night, and I mean really seeing the stars, not through light pollution or smog. You'll be dumbfounded at the awesomeness of that. And when you really become present with it, you'll see it's almost as though the sky is breathing. You can see that with clouds at times, certain formations of clouds. It's literally like the clouds are pulling you up in to the cosmos, to the universe. This is us. You know, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, an accountant, a mother, a gardener, a plumber, you know, for 30, 40, 50 years. It could be your persona for your whole life, if that's what you choose. But even as a teacher, because that is definitely one of the personas that I absolutely resonate with, but my ways of being a teacher are constantly evolving. So students that started work with me, 25 years ago when I was teaching aromatherapy and guiding people around how plants had medicinal value and different properties and ways of extracting that medicine into an oil, and then how to administer that, how to use that, that was one version of my teaching. I've been a teacher as a mother. I've been a teacher in my coaching practice. I've been a yoga teacher. I've been a teacher of nutrition. I've been a teacher of tantra and sacred sexuality. I've been a teacher of shamanic practices. I've been a teacher in so many ways. It's constantly evolving. This is the piece. This is how we continuously break out of the boxes and allow our soul, life force, to constantly help us evolve and express and emit aspects of the gifts, the natural tendencies and abilities that we are here to offer. This is brave work though, because it might mean that you're asked to change a job, change relationships, change your geographical location. Definitely you're going to be asked to change how you see yourself, who you think you are, how you're supposed to be. Whose beliefs are you listening to? What conditioning do you need to question and challenge? Who around you is projecting their own fears, their own beliefs, their own insecurities and judgments upon you? This is enormous work, but it is required if you are going to continue to ascend and become the light that you are, to become the love that you are. You are going to have to learn to forgive people, to make difficult decisions and let something go, even if you don't have a logical grasp on it, but it's just something inside of you that is saying, this no longer resonates. This no longer feels right. Maybe you don't trust somebody and they haven't actually done, something that you could just be like, and that's why. But it's just this sense that is constantly trying to express and communicate through you. That's your intuition. That's your wisdom. That's your sixth sense. Maybe you've got to step out of relationship with people in your family. How do you get through the guilt? How do you get through self-judgment around that? You know, it's time to stop putting you last. This literally is a solo journey. You were born solo. You will exit this reality solo. What you do in between is done solo. We might be blessed to have really incredible allies around us and helpers and support and guides. But really and truly, this pilgrimage of being a human being and coming through to the other side as a living embodiment of the soul that you are, the divinity that you are, the light that you are, the boundlessness that you are here to express in this human form, this package, this box, is going to be uniquely your journey. So what needs to be healed? Look at these different areas of your life. You know, where are you denying your expansion? Where are you playing small? Because in relationships, somebody is really making sure to keep the lid on this box called you. In your work, who and in what ways are you being suppressed, denied, bullied, shut down, diminished, so that your creative life force, your ideas, your brilliance, your contribution can start to come through? Do you love your home? Do you love the things in your home? And I mean, not just because they're pretty and they're in fashion, but I mean, there's an emotional upliftment to them. I'm not talking about keeping things that make you feel sad. That is not serving your expansion. That is keeping you stuck, probably in obligation, because it's a duty to hold on to that, I don't know, silver tea set that came and was passed down from your great-great-grandmother, but you don't even drink tea. Why are you holding on to it? Gift it to somebody. Oh, watch the joy that happens when somebody who will totally dig that receives that. They are going to light right up. That's going to light you up. And you're going to feel really good about bringing life back into that something. Okay? Maybe you just don't want to live in the neighborhood that you're living in anymore. You know, maybe at some point you've married into a relationship where somebody had a lot of money and they had a relationship with prestige and persona and presenting a certain way. And so you've got, you know, a big house that just doesn't bring you any joy. It doesn't feel like it's soulful and heartful. You drive a big vehicle that does nothing for you. You have a perfectly manicured yard, and you actually can't even resonate with your neighbors or even stand them for that matter, because they're pretentious or they are closed off and cold. And deep down inside, all that you're longing for is to live in a little cabin somewhere, have a garden, have a small place, have a relationship with nature and intimate friendships that make you feel seen, heard, met, and validated for who you are as a human being and not what you have, not who you know. Does this make sense? And you know what? For those that are living in that way, that feel joyous in their lives, fan-freaking-tastic. That's working for you. If it's allowing you to expand, be authentically who you are, then that's a yes. But please, these boxes, we've got to pull the lids off and look at why something isn't resonating with us. How is it stunting our growth? How is it minimizing our sense of self-worth and value and belonging and enoughness? Whose lens are we gauging our own selves through? Who are you feeling obligated to? Why are you shoulding your life? Okay? So just to put this in perspective for you, in my own life, I've never been somebody that's wanted to be in boxes, and yet we do have boxes regardless. We're going to be unpacking boxes until we take our last breath and we truly become boundless. But in our life as a human being, it's just what it is. It's part of the dance, okay? So I'm sure it had to do with my upbringing, and things were not cookie cutter in any way, but it presented its own challenges for sure. But it's gifted me a bit of a gypsy energy, a rebel, a warrior. I don't want to fit in boxes. I don't want to be static. I don't want to be identified as Lana, the this, the that, the that. Oh my God. Any of you watching this right now, you've only seen the tip of my iceberg. I mean, there is so much going on in my life all the time that I'm divining. I'm creating. I'm that are simmering. It's unbelievable. And things that are letting go. So with relationship to that, I've been teaching yoga for 20 years now. I announced at the end of last year, knowing this was coming, knowing for a couple of years now that after many 200-hour teacher trainings that I've led, this was it. This is my last one, and it starts at the end of March, and I have the most gorgeous group of women that I am so inspired to get to work with and grow with. But for me, the way that the 200-hour yoga teacher training is devised, and it's a system that had to be implemented through these governing bodies so that a particular curriculum could be implemented. It's all good, but it doesn't work for me. I'm done with it. I cannot teach that way anymore. I'm a visionary. I am a way shower. I'm connected to source. So as ideas are coming in, if they're relevant, they're getting woven in. It's this brilliant weaving that happens, and it has to do with the other people's energies that are there. What's happening astrologically, those energies, my energies, what feels important, what is relevant, what are ways that we can explore being in these shapes or in these teachings, make it more fluid, make it more juicy, more feminine, more intuitive, more nourishing, more beautiful. Because those things, they come into the body like medicine, and they land and they heal parts of us. It's not here. So this is it. I'm letting that go. But I'm also, I'm leaving my place that I've been living in for 6 years as well. I am leaving. I just know that it's time, and this beautiful, beautiful cocoon, and I love my place. I love my place. So for others, it would seem illogical, and people who come and work with me in my place love my place. So it's not about that. I just know it's time for me to expand, time for me to move out of the cocoon, to be boundless, to be out of a box. And so this is one of my securities, right? My home. Okay. Everything's going into storage. I already have a dear friend who's ready to move in July. So it's happening. But I trust the process. It's time for me to get out again. Next, evolution. When we don't trust the process, we stay small, we stay stunted, we stay in the boxes. So part of what I've had to do, I'm feeling a lot of things right now. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anxiety. I'm grieving. I'm letting these imprints, these restrictions move through my body, these parts of me that think, oh, I've made a mistake. I shouldn't be doing this. My life is good. People know me here. I've put 25 years into this community as a teacher and guide and a spiritual mentor, a coach. Oh my God, like, why would I leave? Well, because it's all energy. I need to go to the next something for however long that is to become that next version of me that is ultimately going to teach yet again to those who find me and resonate with me. This is our brave, courageous, spiritual warriorship. So I want to bring it back to you now. Where can you start to implement changes that are going to get you out of a box? Break down some of these beliefs, these structures, these patterns, these habits, these limitations that are corking or damming your flow. And I want you to think for a moment of something that's been dammed up. All it takes is the removal of small little rocks or a log or some kind of debris to start to create an opening for flow to happen. That's all. You don't need to let go of your life in the way I am. I've been practicing this since I was, probably 7, when I grew up without stability. And I've got a lot of years into this, so I really trust the process. It's what works for me. But there is a rhythm and a timing to everything. Sometimes you are going to be asked by life to really let go. And if you don't, and you deny the pushes and the urges and the signs, life is going to bring you to your knees. And your shift, your change is going to happen to you, regardless. You know what I'm talking about. So please, my lovely friends, this is an invitation. Start to practice playing a little bit bigger. Practice your bravery, your courage. You are so freaking much more than you know yourself to be. But bravery and courage needs to be practiced. Get quieter, get more still. Clean out your relationships. Only high vibe, best of intentions, honest, resonating relationships. Start to upgrade your life and watch how magical and serendipitous your life becomes. And as always, if I can be of support, please reach out. You can find out more about me, lanaboyack.com. I do have a very interesting 5-week session coming up for only 5 women in my beautiful space. And it is a journey into wholehearted living. So there will be 5 aspects of that. But it's ultimately learning how to grieve, how to let go, so that we can learn to praise. All right? So I'm with you. I love you. I respect you. We're all in this together, but alone. You've got this. Start small. Start learning to trust your wisdom, your intuition, your own guidance. And watch the magic happen. You deserve a blessed life because you are radiant energy. You are spirit. This is what we're here for. This is the time. It's happening now. Blessings in all ways to you. I'll talk with you again soon. Bye for now.